Okay, now we're going to go 14 dimensions of true happiness discussion. So feel free to unmute yourselves, and let's hear what I've given you 3 talks so far on it, little clips. I'd like to hear any thoughts or reactions you're having.
Yeah, this is Bernice.
Hey, Bernice.
Hi. So what I found super enlightening about the 4 commandments, and then not those just blew me away by the get-go. But when you were telling me repetition is the preparation for application
To achieve internalization and stabilization, yes.
And all of that, that is the way to bring it to fruition, is the bridge. And and then practicing it too, you have to continue to practice it. You may falter, but then when you make that that win, you feel so good, and then you feel like you can take on other situations that might have triggered you or set you off.
This is so true. And the thing that's beautiful what you said, Bernice, as always. And the key I want to make is, I have somebody say to me today, when I repeat the commandments of honor, she said, I don't really feel them anymore. And I said, that's fine. You may not feel them at all. I say them so often for so many years, I don't feel them at all. I wish you well. I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality, my problems. I'm grateful for the part of struggle and hardship. God, your wish is my only wish. What's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? I get one feeling out of that. I don't feel good. I don't feel bad. So I'm not saying you're repeating it to feel good, although some people do feel really good. But the repetition is preparation for application to achieve internalization and stabilization. What feels good is the stabilization, and dealing with things honorably feels wonderful. Now, does it feel wonderful? The alternative is to feel regret about not dealing honorably with it. So the fruit of doing this feels good. The repetition, for me and for many people, doesn't feel. It's just saying it. But every time you're saying it, you're keeping yourself in a state of preparation. I'm really glad you brought that up, Bernice. Anything else you want to add or say?
I get what that woman is saying, and what you mean by it kind of loses the you know what I mean? But yeah, what I was saying was the bridge, the application of what feels really good. So yeah, we're on the same train of mind as far as that. But yeah, I can kind of feel when I first learned the 4 commandments, I was like, ooh, this is juice. This has almost like a power outlet, you know what I mean? But in time, it becomes your actions. It becomes that power outlet that I used to get from the commandments.
I like to say you get the juice from a power outlet. It does empower. It affects all our cells. It actually, we have epigenes that turn on and off certain genes. So your genetics are important, but what's important is whether they're turned on or off. So somebody might have a propensity to cancer, but your P53 gene fights that, and the genes are affected by the epigenes. All the cells have epigenes on the membranes. So the epigenes are very responsive to thoughts and words. So we're communicating. It responds very well to communication. So if we turn on that cancer-fighting gene, and we're keeping really good thoughts going, we're turning on constructive genetics. That's what matters. The genes that we have matter, but what matters even more is which ones are turned on and which ones are turned off. So this has an effect. Repeating the commandments of honor in the bridge has an effect at a cellular level. It affects our health. Look, when we exercise, we go to the gym. I'm a world champion powerlifter, world champion bodybuilder. I'm not going to say it feels great lifting those weights. It's torture sometimes, really. So feeling good is not the criterion, but afterwards we feel great. It makes us healthy, and the muscles are longevity organs. We live longer with them, healthier with them, and we're strengthening our bones at the same time. So things don't have to feel good when you're doing it, but the effect is what we want. The effect of the commandments of honor, the effect of exercise. That's what we want. Anybody else? Very good, Bernice. You always inspired me to many thoughts.
Thank you.
Anybody else have
Hey,
anything you?
Dr.
Yes. Who is this?
This is Anas.
Anas.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything you want to say or ask Anas?
Yeah. So when you were saying about like working out, do we look at it as more like a distraction or like self-improvement or just health or everything overall?
Well, I'm going to talk about guys. It's a different story for women. Every guy that starts lifting weights, without exception, including me, you, everybody, we wanted women to look twice and we wanted guys to think twice. We all started. We didn't do it for health. We didn't do it for anything other than that. As time goes on, that you build yourself up. You don't want to lose what you built up. Then you do it long enough. I've been doing it 68 years. I don't even feel I have an option. I just have to do it. You get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you do whatever. Working out just became that. I do the weightlifting, qigong, stretching, 5 rights Tibetan yoga, walking, some aerobics.
Like more of a self-discipline type of thing.
Yeah, it becomes discipline. But I don't know how many people actually enjoy it. A lot of times I don't want to do it. I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. I'll do it anyway. So now the commandments of honor, it's easy because 8 seconds and the bridge is 4 seconds. So it's 12 seconds. You could be driving, walking, taking a shower, in the bathroom, whatever. And you say it. It's not as rough as lifting weights or most exercises. But we do it because the effects are awesome. It will lead to a good life, in fact, it'll lead to more contentment in life as opposed to dissatisfaction. And we're going to talk about contentment in a minute. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, and thank you.
Hey, Dr. Arnold, this is Bridget. Do you want to make a comment?
Yes, please do, Bridget.
Yeah, I wanted to share my perspective of how the 4 commandments of honor has helped me. So for me, how I see the commandments is it's just very grounding. So it's like kind of like the staple power thought that you have daily. You keep repeating it. You keep like really feeling it. And whenever any situation or any feelings or thoughts, negative thoughts come up, I already have the 4 commandments, and that kind of keeps me grounded. So if I like get pissed off at a like road rage, or someone like did something like really rude to me and I get really pissed off, I repeat, I wish you well, I wish you well. And that kind of just walks me away from just being pissed off the whole day. So it's kind of like, you know what, I wish you well. I'm just going to move on and just walk away. Or if I'm going through a hard time, something happened to me, I'm like, you know what, I am grateful for the power I gained from this hardship. So it's more of like a power thought for me that just keeps me grounded throughout the day. And you don't drown yourself through negative thoughts, and like, you know how to walk to the commandments of honor and just like live with honor.
Wow, you're definitely one of the stars of the whole movement for sure. And you use the word power thoughts. And before I called them commandments of honor and the 25 laws of honor, I used to call them power thoughts. But the early books and writings all referred to them as power thoughts. And eventually it evolved into commandments of honor, laws of honor, and so forth.
Yeah, I think I'm still reading your old books because it keeps saying power thoughts, so it's stuck in my head.
Oh, you read ones with the power thoughts in there, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's sort of like Bernice was saying, you get the juice, plug it into the power source. So the word power comes into this. It does empower us. I've been using it for a long time. Definitely is a transformation. You need a certain degree of sincerity when you're using it, but with a minimum degree of sincerity, it's going to take its effect. And your loved ones will notice it. If you ask your partner, your spouse, your husband, your wife, your best friend, they'll tell you they see a difference. I'll tell you right now, because I ask my people, because the real judge of how well it's working is the spouse or the partner. They see it. And I hear all the time.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
It's Vanessa.
Vanessa. Oh, great, Vanessa.
Hi. Yeah. I was just going to say that it is definitely helpful, like she was saying, whenever you're in a situation. Doctor, I talked to you about this yesterday, that it's very helpful when I sit there and I recite them. I'm able to better communicate what I would like to say. Because
you've had amazing results with your husband.
I have.
Oh my God, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, so it's definitely
So that shows.
People.
So the application is, and it gave more harmony to your marriage. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Oh, that was beautiful. I was so happy you sent me that text. I was so proud of you. Wow. That was a wow.
Yeah,
That was a wow.
Just like being consistent and, reciting them and applying them. And I am seeing a big difference in my relationships, mostly with my husband, but also in other difficult relationships. Just being able to ask myself, what is the most honorable thing to say, think, or do? And it's just been really helpful.
I hear you, Vanessa. Same for me. That's my gold standard. And here's the key about this. The more you teach it to others, the more bound you are to it, because the thing you never want to hear is that you're a hypocrite, especially me. If I slip for a second, my wife will hit me in the head with it. You're teaching this. Who are you? You look at how you are. I say, I'm so sorry. I did slip. I apologize. So the thing about teaching it to others is it makes you more committed to it, because you don't want to hear you're a hypocrite. And especially leaders in the honor movement, we become more honorable than we realize we're going to become, because slipping is very costly, not only in terms of internally, but what we're going to hear. Very good, Vanessa. Thank you so much for saying that. Does anybody else have?
Thank you.
Yeah. Does anybody else have anything you want to ask or say?
I just want to add, this is Nancy Sanchez.
Oh, Nancy. Yes.
So I'm pretty new to the group here, but I did watch one of your videos that was talking about having your mindset be on vacation. And then with what you mentioned now with gratitude, I think it's starting to really sink in that it's a mindset, right? Your attitude along with your thoughts and
totally a mind.
Being gratitude will altogether just help you, in your daily life at work with family. I saw a video on, I think an NHK, Japanese news, and they were talking about this gentleman that the family was admiring him of how he always had just a grateful attitude his entire life and was able to get along with people and never had any
Boy,
issues.
that gratitude goes
a
long way. By the way, let me just interject something, Nancy. Firstly, I watch NHK. I'm surprised hearing you saying it. I watch that all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one. And the thing about the vacation, so what I say in that video, vacation is not a location. It's a state of mind. And so you can spend $20,000, go to Hawaii, but if you're fighting with your spouse, you're not a vacation. Whereas you wake up and you feel love, and you look at your spouse and you're so grateful that the person's there, and you feel that love. That's a vacation, just laying there looking at the person. So vacation is not a location, state of mind. I'm really glad you mentioned that.
Yes, it's been helpful. I know we discussed, I have just a BA in behavioral psychology, but I've been thinking about that and processing and thinking, if I remember correctly, and obviously you have your doctorate, it takes at least 6 months to create a habit. So I'm trying to, do that to my mind, to start creating that habit so it will eventually stick.
Let me tell you something. Well, then 6 months, it's really, you've really got it. So you're correct. But yes. Within even 2 weeks, you'll see results rapidly.
Okay.
Rapid. It's like a neuroplasticity that you start getting those circuits, and the old ways of responding start altering, and you can achieve true happiness. I mean, I didn't become really happy till I was 70. I didn't even know what I was really doing till I was 70, till I really understood more about honor and started understanding it's coming to me through the Spirit. Mm-hmm. So I'm a very happy guy, but I definitely can get stressed out if something bad happens or my wife's upset with me. I'm not happy at that moment, let me tell you. But overall, extremely happy. And by the way, happiness is a little tricky. Let me tell you why. This is a true story about me. My childhood, I was not happy. I was sulking, upset. My teenage years were not happy years, I'll tell you right now. So I've always identified with this unhappy, sulky kid and teenager. Always did. Until, my 60s, 50s, 60s, I still identified with that. I saw I was wise, that I had compassion and love, but I never thought of myself as happy. Then I started really looking at my life. If you look at what I am now, wait a minute, I'm a very happy guy. So part of achieving happiness is getting over. If you weren't happy as a kid or as a teenager, is to go beyond identifying with that person, which I did all my life. You'd think by the time I got 30, 40, 50, I wasn't identifying with it. I still did. So I want you to know this is a dimension to being happy is who are you now? You're not that woman. You're not that guy anymore.
Yeah.
That could be, for me, that was huge. For some of you, it'll be big. For some of you, that won't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Nancy?
I think you're right on it. I mean, you can, again, to me, it keeps speaking to me about your mindset. I can continue to think of myself as a victim or as a little child, or as whatever happened to me, or you can get stuck in that moment and then you'll feel that weight again. So
how are you going to be happy if you're a victim? No, you can't be a victim. Yeah. I don't think there's a happy victim walking around.
No, it's not. So you have to get out of that. Yeah.
That's a good word, Nancy. Victim. If you walk, there's no happy victim. But you may not. You may have been a victim at some point in your life, and that's not happy. You can't say you're happy. But you may not. But now you may have a beautiful life going on, and you're not really claiming it.
Yeah. You need to be grateful for it. Yeah, it's true.
Wow. Thank you for bringing up the victim mentality.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy.
You're welcome.
Anybody else have anything you want to bring up or ask or say?
Hey, doctor, it's Viviana. Can you hear me?
Viviana, yes, I hear you loud and clear.
Good. Sorry, it's just I was having troubles with my Zoom earlier. But right now that you mentioned that the lady that was speaking, it is very true. Speaking for myself, when I first got married, I've been married for almost 12 years now. And at the beginning, I did have that victim mentality per se that I was blocking, and it was a lot of problems with my husband at first because I wouldn't express myself or just let go of things. And once I started doing so, once I started realizing, hey, it's not his fault, I need to get over it, basically let go, our relationship is 1,000 times better.
So you took responsibility for co-creating your reality and your problems.
Yes, and
beautiful.
And it's hard, definitely hard, but
hold on, Viviana, what's harder, taking responsibility and empowering yourself, or not? What ultimately is harder?
I think what's harder is realizing that it's okay to let go.
Yeah.
That
exactly.
It's okay that life isn't perfect. I had a bad childhood, but it's okay to let go. You're making your life now, and you're creating your own. Basically your own story with your family, with my kids, with my husband. So it's totally true what you're saying, and it's very appreciated that.
Well, listen, Viviana, so are you having the same situation that I had for most of my life? That you identify with those early feelings of your childhood and you're not happy, but you're trying to catch up with realizing, hey, I've got a good life. I am happy now. Is that your struggle right now?
Yes, definitely. And now, like you mentioned, about the vacation being and mindset, it's true, because at the beginning we could go to expensive places and we would just not be happy because we would be arguing and just the negativity around us. And then now it's we could go an hour away and it's the best time ever spent, but
wow, that's so beautiful. I'm so happy for you and your husband, really.
Thank you.
That's inspiring.
Thank you, doctor.
Wow. So you have a lot of happiness in your life now.
Yes, I sure do. Especially with the third baby on the way. Yes, I sure do.
I'm thankful there's a Yiddish word called nachas. It's very expressive. You have a lot of nachas. It really is a very upbeat word. Thank you, Nancy. Beautiful. Beautiful. Anybody else? I heard somebody else want to say something or ask something.
So hi.
Hi.
Doctor. So everyone, I'm new to the group. It's my second week. So
tell everybody your first name.
Oh, Iris.
Iris. Yeah.
Hi. Yeah. So the commandments and the videos, I'm just being familiar with them now. I have a question
Yes.
about it because I was just watching the video right here, right now. Like, you know, the vacation is.
I'm here now, right now. Enjoy the moment.
Yes, and then the meditation and how to get through it, and then also the commandments, like, you know, I wish you well, all of that. So I'm trying to get it into my daily life, but I was thinking about my situation just of late, where what if you do everything within your control, but your true desires are things that are out of you're not in control. So let's say,
Yeah.
you know, I have my career, I bought a house, you know, I'm healthy and all this stuff, but truly deep down inside, I wanted a family, I want to get married, I want to have kids, but I just meet people that I don't click with, and, you know, I don't like hide in a cave and just like I'm sad. I try and make my reality better, like, okay, well, you know, you're single, but you can still create your own happiness. Like, do
Let me
things that you're
address
in
that.
control.
Iris, thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
That is a universal issue. Every woman needs her man. Every man needs his woman. That's universal. If men and women didn't desperately need each other, I'm not just need each other, but desperately need each other, men would have stayed in their caves, women in their caves, not going through all the drama and going on. But it's a desperate needing. So having a man in your life, the right man, a bad marriage is a nightmare. It's hell on earth. A good marriage is paradise.
Mhm.
And a good marriage is going to have its bad moments, but overall it's going to be a good marriage. So I would say there's something missing right now in your life. But, you know, somebody can have a great marriage and it goes through a divorce, or God forbid one dies and that person's single again. So on this life, nothing is forever. As souls, as eternal souls, that's forever. But on the earth, things are composed and decompose. There's loss. So right now, any normal human being, any normal woman will feel lonely at this stage. Now, I have patients that are 60, 65. The husbands are dead or divorced. They don't even want a man. They're okay. They have their kids. They got their life. But it's normal for somebody 20s, 30s, 40s to need somebody. So so the fact that you have that lack, or you feel is missing in your life, that's real. There's no way around it. I would be the same thing. I remember when I was going through a divorce when I was younger. I see people, men and women walk. I was in San Francisco at the time. I see men and women holding hands walking by. I had nobody's hand to hold walking by. It just made me feel really lonely. You know, I was seeing this going by. And so there I was in a beautiful area, San Francisco. So you can be in a beautiful area, but if you don't have somebody you love with you, me personally, I'm not going to enjoy it that much, to be honest with you.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's me. I'm not going to enjoy it. So it's a real issue. Now, the key is to be able to achieve optimal happiness for your situation.
Right.
Maybe have close friendships where you can really talk to people, or close relationship with your mother, your father, your siblings. You need that close connection. Very important. And you need to feel you're doing something meaningful in your life. But if you're feeling also this spot that's empty or lonely in you, yeah, that's you're human.
Right.
And I wouldn't be any different. Let me tell you, I wouldn't be any different.
Yeah, and luckily I was able to find someone and have a family, but you know, I have a group of friends, all 7 of us girls. We've known each other since elementary school, and I'm 40 now, so I mean, I've known these girls forever, and 2 of them are the only ones that are still single, and I know, and we all have careers and all this stuff, whatever, but I know both of them are saying, we don't want a family. We don't want to get married. We don't want children. We're just going to work and go on vacation. But I can tell that they're sad inside.
Let me tell you, I've known people that can do that and have a good time. I'm not one of them.
And I wish I could tell them, what to say, what to do, because they're trying their best. They're trying to find their happiness in the optimum level that they can provide for themselves.
Yes.
But you can only do so much when what your true desire requires something out of your reach. And so.
Some people, there are people, the normal person needs somebody. A normal woman would need a man in her life. A normal man needs a woman. But some people are genetically different, or they were raised very isolated, and they're okay. But 99% of us, that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a sadness, maybe it's related to that. Some people get burned so badly in a relationship, they become bitter. In fact, there are women who've been burned so badly, they actually hate men. They don't want a man. And it's an unfortunate conclusion from it, because there are good men in the world, but they've had some really bad experiences, and they just won't trust again. I've seen that. I've seen guys go through the same thing towards women. And to find the right person, you have to be the right person.
True.
And they may have gone out, or they might like dating and having the excitement of a new relationship, but something's not working out. But I wouldn't say they can't be happy. Some people can be. Maybe you can't be, I can't be, but some people can.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. That's a really important point. Very good point, Iris. Thank you.
Thank you for letting me speak.
Oh, no, I'm so happy to hear from you. Very valuable contributions, Iris. Anybody else have something you want to ask or say?
Hey, Doc, it's Nora Martinez.
Nora, welcome.
Hi. I think on the perspective of victimizing, saying, oh, it's for me, or this is happening. I think for me, the commitments were that a lot of the stuff that was happening, especially within my family, was a lot because I allowed it to happen.
Well, I know exactly what happened in your family. Yeah, I hear that. And you worked very hard for the family business. I know that.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's what I got a lot from the commitments. That I pretty much allowed that. So
you were an enabler. You were an enabler. Wow, it's amazing that you could step up and take responsibility. What effect does that have on you when you said, you know what, I co-created it? What effect does that have on you?
I think right now it's seeing them in a different light and not being so angry about it.
So are you less angry are you less angry?
Yes.
Good.
I am.
Good. You live longer and healthier. I'm happy to hear that, Nora.
And less hurt too.
Less hurt. Well, that's what leads to the anger, is the hurt. I know you felt disrespected, disregarded, not appreciated. I know what you went through.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I wanted to let you.
Well, Nora, thank you for sharing that. So you're happier now that you're getting away from the victimhood mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, there are no happy victims. Can't be a victim, be happy.
No, we're not.
I'm a happy victim. No, that just doesn't go together. Yeah, very good. Thank you, Nora.
Thanks, Doc.
You're welcome.